Okay, before we do this review, can we get a woo first? Woo! Happy birthday to Ric Flair. Gotta say that. See, that's been going around today. Had to start off right with the woo! I would put the glasses on and maybe do an impression, but nah, I'm not gonna do that. Did I hear that punk right over it? Yeah, I'm not gonna cut a promo right here, but had to say that first. But welcome to my review of Impact Wrestling. What are we still in Vegas this week? Stuff going on, I should say, going into the pay-per-view. I know they kicked it off what happened from Sacrifice last Saturday. Did I really watch that show? Honestly, I watched a little of that show. I didn't really have the app, the Impact Plus thing, but I did see a little of the show going into the main event between Tessa and Ace Austin. They did show that at the beginning part of the show. It actually wasn't that bad of a match. I know the title was really on the line, but it wasn't really that bad of a match. Actually pretty good, to be honest. Which was supposed to be a rematch tonight because Ace Austin was pissed after what happened, demanding another match between Tessa Blanchard going to Scott D'Amore. And he says, you know what? There is going to be a rematch. You are going to get your shot. Ace Austin thought he was going to get a shot at the world title, but no. You're going to be putting your X Division title on the line. Since you want another piece of Tessa, your belt's going to be on the line this time. Well, wasn't on the line last time, but your belt's going to be on the line, not the world title, the X Division title. So that's going to happen later on tonight in the main event. But, Sacrifice, I did watch a little of that show. It wasn't really that bad. And everything, but I did watch into the end of it. But we do kick off the show between RVD and Daga to kick off the show. Match was kind of whatever, to be honest. It started off kind of slow, but at least it got better on. I could do without the entire the Katie Forbes thing, but I think it's something going on where she's pissed off at Twitter and what fans are saying about her online and everything. So you can see her looking at her phone several times. RVD said, calm down. It's just Twitter, okay? You don't really need to worry about it. The match wasn't really that bad. It just ended up with RVD leaving because Katie Forbes had left. So Van Dam pretty much followed along after, wondering where she was at after he got hit by a suicide dive. So RVD pretty much left. Daga pretty much won by countout then. And then they went to the back with RVD pretty much saying what's going on. She didn't like what fans were saying about her. And he says, listen, these people still paid the ticket because she felt like, we don't need to be out there in front of them. But RVD, listen, yeah, but they did pay to see this show, so they want to see. We have to still, we got to put on a show, okay? They paid to see a match, and that's what they're going to get, as RVD explained. But next thing you know, of all people, Joey Ryan shows up, and like I said before, thank God RVD did not do that dick spot, but pretty much says, listen, we've seen differences, but, we're the same in a way that, they talk about me on the internet due to my whole penis thing, rightfully so. They talk about Kay Forbes and her ass. They talk about you, Van Dam, of being a superstar or whatnot. Basically, Joey Ryan saying they all have gifts and whatnot, and I don't know, I kind of like RVD almost shot at that whole Twitch thing he did when they had him and his two girlfriends on there. But, getting to the point here, I don't know if they're trying to do some team between Van Dam and Joey Ryan, but I just kind of thought it was funny when he tried to say, well, I have a gift and everything. Again, I could go into bury Joey Ryan right now if I wanted to, but I'm not. But, every time he just kind of says something and has to do with that stupid dick shit, I just instantly bury him for it because it's not over, okay? It's not over. It's fucking stupid. We all know it's fucking stupid. So we're going to move on from him because he's nothing really to talk about, to be honest. Just doing dick suplexes most of the time, and the justification of it is not good. I just kind of find it funny when he says, people attack me on the internet. Yes, they actually have a right to attack you for that on the internet, okay? I'd rather look at Katie's fake ass than watch that stupid dick shit, but, I guess this is going somewhere. I have no idea where it's going. And, I will say one thing about RVD. I think he tied his ponytail the wrong way because it looked very inverted, looking like Bailey's for some reason. I'm like, did he tie that on right? I kept saying something looks odd about Van Dam's head for some reason. I didn't know why, but it just did. Jordan Grace was being interviewed. until Madison Rayne showed up. Pretty much she accepted that Golden Open Challenge and whatnot. Jordan Grace, she would take on anybody. She'll take on Madison Rayne tonight, but she says, no. You want to take my gimmick and everything, and there's a lot of young and hungry talent wanting to face you for that title, but she has not found the right one. She can guide them to dethrone you from that championship. So you will have an opponent tonight. Next was Rohit Raju versus Wentz, or Zachary Wentz out there. Not a bad match, especially for one-on-one. I'm almost surprised that a Desi Hit Squad member actually won a match, because I'm used to seeing these guys lose most of the time. I know Dez and Trey end up super kicking, Sheer out there, but Rohit still got the win with a double stomp. Honestly, I actually thought the Rascals were just going to go over. They seemed a little bit less goofy this week, especially Miguel. They've been trying to make him into some type of a single star right now in a way, so at least they're trying to stick him away from that comedy act, but I'm almost surprised that the Rascals even lost. Well, not just one of the members. I'm almost surprised the Desi Squad got a win, quote-unquote clean win in a way too, so I don't know if I'm going to say the Desi Squad are going to go anywhere, because it's always been said, they're going to go somewhere, but they end up jobbing or losing to everybody in some type of match or bad segment most of the time. They lose to. So we'll see what happens from this, because they got to what did they do? They had a match against the North, not the North, but no. They had a match. I think they interrupted that tag match from Sacrifice between the Rascals and the North, and cost the Rascals the tag team titles and whatnot. But we'll see what comes from that. They didn't play another ICU message. I'm sure Sami Callihan's coming back soon enough. This whole hacker thing and what he's going on. Some people think he's going back to the Solomon Crow thing. I don't know. Ace Austin cut a promo in the back talking about Tessa Blanchard, or why he has to defend his X Division title tonight. And that, she may be undeniable, but he is inevitable, and he always has an ace up his sleeve. OVE, which now they've noticed they've been losing a lot. Dave Chris have taken the lead on talking, and that we need a leader. They know Sammy's not coming back. They don't even know where Sammy is right now, but they know he's not coming back. So someone has to lead this group. Madman Fulton got in Dave's face, and maybe you could lead it. Jake says, listen, that's at the point. We need to show them why we are OVE and that we are taking over everything, of course, but they need a new leader. So at least they noticed that they've been taking a lot of L's lately, and that Callahan, it's not like they're oblivious to Callahan being gone. They know Callahan is not around, and they don't even know where Sami Callahan is. So obviously they need someone else to take over for OVE if or until he comes back. I don't know when. We've been keeping Sammy off of TV for a long time, since literally after Hard to Kill. So I don't know when he's coming back. I'm still saying by the next pay-per-view. But next was Jordan Grace versus Miranda Alize. I think I said the name right. She was out there, Jordan Grace. Not a bad match between both of these two. I don't really know much about this girl, but Jordan Grace ended up picking up the win with the Grace driver. But it was pretty good for whoever this girl was. I didn't know who she was, but it wasn't that bad. The North were talking about TJP and Fallah Bahh in the back, as they have a match next week against them, non-title though, and that they bring greatness around everyone. Okay, they're good guys and everything, and that they are the tag team division most dominant and looking to be the longest reigning tag team champions, and that's why they're going to stay the champions. That Perkins and Bahh don't have a chance. They played a promo video for the Ultimate Finesser, Chris Bay. I've been looking up a lot about this guy lately. He's not bad. Like I said, I may have seen him on here job to people on Impact when it came to Vegas and everything, but I've seen a couple matches he's done and whatnot. But like I said before, I think he's a good signing. I think he's a really good addition to the X Division. I still think it's kind of weird last week when Cody Rhodes said something about him early in the day. I'm looking to sign him, and then the following day he signs with Impact. So when you see the show, so it's just kind of strange when I heard his name being mentioned earlier, and then he ends up signing with Impact. Then kind of strange. Havoc was walking around to Rosemary teleported. I still don't know where this whole undead thing is going, but apparently James Mitchell's gone, and that you're gonna get your playmate back next week. So no disqualification match against Su Yung. I have no idea where this feud is going this week, but I guess they're going to send Havoc to the Undead round 2 or something. I'm not even really sure. Now this was different. We got another best of 5 series match between Michael Elgin and Eddie Edwards, but it was actually from the Revolution Pro Wrestling Revolver. I think that's Sami Callihan's promotion. listen, this was not a bad match or anything. In a way, I kind of expected Eddie to win to tie this whole series after he dodged Elgin going for that crossface and pretty much got the roll-up pin on Elgin to win the match. But, with the Gato clutch. But, listen, I know it's even now. I just don't know why they did it from this whole Revolution, this not Rev Pro, but this whole Revolver thing. I don't really understand. I actually thought they were going to wait another week to do the next match for them. This wasn't a bad match or anything, and I know how good both of these guys put on, but kind of where they were at, I thought they stopped doing these matches in different locations and everything, so I would have just waited another week or somewhere along in the tapings, or I don't know when the next tapings is for whatever, but yeah, I'm hungry there, but I don't know when the next tapings are or whatnot. Honestly, I actually thought they would have filmed at least both of them. Maybe in another week we'll see the next match, but I thought it was strange that it was from a different location. This was in Ohio and whatnot, and I don't know how many people are part of that whole Revolution Pro thing, but I don't think it was that many people. I'm assuming so. I liked it, but just I don't know why they decided to do this match here, but obviously these two are tied. I don't know when the final match will be between these two. Whoever wins this whole Call Your Shot trophy or whatnot. I've enjoyed their series. Honestly, they've been pretty good. They found ways to at least make it look different and not do the same match over and over in a row. I don't know in the next one. Maybe it's at the pay-per-view. Maybe it's on one of these Impact Plus shows. I don't know. I know Lockdown is coming up in the next month, but we'll see what comes from that. Of course, we had a flashback. Now, this is something that's been going around lately, because they had P.D. Williams and Scott D'Amore there talk about the TNA reunion show happening in April, mostly through WrestleMania weekend. And I noticed Ring of Honor is doing like a reunion show, too, these past versus present type of things. Now, they had the old TNA Canadian shirt, and they made some jokes about the Ultimate X and everything, and making fun of bad stuff like the King of the Mountain or that reverse Battle Royale. Don't get me started on that old match. But, Moose came in making jokes saying TNA's dead. Guys like you had, Amazing Red or Wildcat Chris Harris, the Suicide of Stars and everything. And he says TNA is gone. It's Impact Wrestling right now. And P says there would be no Impact if it wasn't for me. And that, at least those guys were champions. Now, let me say this about this whole TNA reunion and Ring of Honor show. I don't think it's a bad idea, and I've seen some of the people they're supposed to be bringing back for this thing, like Aces and Eights, with just D-Lo and Mr. Anderson. The Motor City Machine Guns, I believe. Who else? I saw some of these press releases they were bringing back. I think Shark Boy. I know PD's in it. Chris Harris. I know Wildcat because Chris Harris is going to be part of it too. Now, I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't know all the names to this, and I've heard some Ring of Honor too. And it's not a bad idea. I don't mind that if it's just TNA again for one night only. Even they made fun of the old creative team, like at least we're a more competent creative team. I'll say that to an extent that they're a more competent creative team. But what can I say about this? It's not bad, but someone brought this up. Okay, you're going to do a TNA reunion show, and a Ring of Honor one that's happening over that weekend. And you got some good talent. I'm not saying these guys are all that bad, but even some people are going to point out, like, you don't have AJ Styles, you don't have Samoa Joe, Daniels, Kazarian, who else? Sting, Kurt Angle. In other words, it's like this. Either a lot of top names are in WWE or AEW or maybe NXT, if I'm not mistaken, because I can go from, or even NWA also, James Storm, Bobby Roode, Beer Money. You don't even have Beer Money. Just in general, you don't have LAX. Well, maybe I think LAX is on sign on for one of those shows. I think Homicide, though. You don't have, and like, it's a long list of names to go through. I'm really just, I don't know why I'm blanking out right now. You don't have the Hardys. You do not have MVP. You don't have Bobby Lashley. You don't even have Kenny King. You don't have Austin Aries. You don't have, you get Eddie Edwards. You don't have Davey Richards. you don't have a lot of guys, basically. And that goes for both Ring of Honor. Like I said, this goes for Ring of Honor and TNA, because a lot of the people I named were in both companies for these reunion show. And I think it could work. I'm not saying it can't, but I do think about it in some ways. Like, you're not getting all these people from the past, or even maybe 5 years ago, when you think about it. So, like I said, I will mostly check out these past and present shows that are coming up during Mania weekend. And I don't think it's a bad idea, but I'm just sitting there wondering how many people they're gonna pull out that was good. And I've seen some good names, like I said, but how many other big names are they gonna pull out? And that goes to both Ring of Honor and TNA, or just Impact, where it's TNA for one night only. But that just goes for both companies. I just wonder that sometime. How are they gonna make that work? Also, they had Johnny Swinger and the Mac. Johnny Swinger was talking to the Mac pretty much, are we doing this team and everything, until Disco Inferno. He says, hey man, Mac's a superstar. He doesn't have a gimmick. You got a gimmick. I got a gimmick. Listen, I'm a Disco, Fiend champion. I was WCW Cruiserweight champion. Everything you're talking. He says, we should team up. All right. I got the gimmick. We got this. We got that. This could work. Okay. Now who's tagging with the Mac here? So now that Disco Inferno, are we gonna see a tag team with Disco Inferno and Johnny Swinger? I don't know. But all I can say is we'll find out and see then. I enjoyed the Swinger. He is pretty funny on something. Talking about the Mizarks and the Rizats on there. And this whole thing with the Mac and trying to get a tag team has been somewhat decently funny. And Disco Inferno being involved now, that could make it funnier too. So we'll see what happens. Now, one thing I saw they were promoting tonight was Gut Check. Now, if you remember Gut Check, that was like what? A few years ago in TNA. I know they used to have judges, some OVW. I remember people like Taz and Ric Flair being in the ring, and I think they hired someone accidentally one time when we're not supposed to win. I remember a little bit of Gut Check. I'll say this, that's when I first knew who Joey Ryan was, when he was bringing the sleazy back instead of doing stupid dick suplexes, which I had no problem with back then. And I remember some guys like, that big old dude that was hanging with Zack Ryder, or, who else was on there? Now, I remember some people on that, but I remember the whole Gut Check thing in general. Now, to what I saw here, some people think this is looking like that Global Forge thing they tried to do a few years ago when that GFW bullshit was happening. In some way, it almost looks like the same thing. I know some new students trying to make it into wrestling right now, and Scott D'Amore had all these VHS tapes sent behind him. And, I think the full episode was on Impact Plus, they said, but I know they got Johnny Swinger not treating, but teaching people in the ring on what to do and how to be safe in the ring and whatnot. And they showed a couple of the guys and where they were from, and I think one of them hit one of them accidentally, and they were just kind of interviewing them. Now, I do remember this in that, because I remember that Global Forge stuff, and I really did not care. I swear to God, I think maybe they got Raju to, that won the whole thing, but I just remember it, and it just was not good. It really wasn't good. Okay, I just remember it being very, very bad, the Global Forge part of it. And I don't know if it was the same concept or whatnot, except we saw a longer video of it this time that, okay, maybe this can go somewhere. It's Gut Check again. Now, it wasn't the same one like it was years ago. Well, we'll see where this goes, though, with this Gut Check thing, but I'm not sure about that at the same time, no, but we'll see. But in the main event, though, we got Ace Austin and Tessa Blanchard for the X Division Championship. Not a bad match. Some say the Sacrifice one was a little bit better, which I can kind of agree on. But both of these two are really good in the ring, I will say that. I don't remember what some of the fans were actually chanting during this match a couple of points in times, because there was one chant I couldn't follow along what it was, but I don't know if it was against Tessa or Ace, but it was very loud. I will say that from this Vegas crowd. Y'all said one thing about this crowd. At least they tried to kind of get some enthusiasm sometimes. I know it was a full house on there because I've seen the photos and whatnot. I just don't get sometimes with the production and how if the crowd is mic'd well enough. Sometimes I kind of wonder that, but. The match was not bad. Pretty much ended up in a DQ thanks to Taya coming out and attacking Tessa Blanchard, punching her several times, even though it looked like she just hit the ground and never really connected a punch, I felt like at the time. Ace Austin pretty much said something and looked on. Tessa pretty much, not Tessa, but Taya ended up just pretty much beating up Tessa several times onto the ground. One thing I do, again, I guess I remember now after Tessa's that Taya said last week was that I want that title. Never said which title. I want that title. So I guess possibly it will be Tessa versus Taya next. I don't think Taya is going to win the world title in general, but or maybe it is for the title. I don't know, but I don't see her winning it at all anyways. But the fact that Taya came out, it is interesting, to face Tessa Blanchard. Then I don't know if Ace Austin's still part of this whole thing, but I still feel like this is gonna end up into Rebellion all the way when it gets to April. But I see Callahan still coming back to win the title when that happens. But I'm assuming Taya now is going for the belt. Allegedly, since she did attack Tess at the end and just start slamming her head onto the ground then. So I was a little shocked to see at first, but at least they are getting her away from the Knockouts champion, since she was Knockouts champion then forever most of the time. So I guess this is the next thing, because even I was wondering, where are they going to move Taya, who they're going to have a face. So have a face Tessa Blanchard again. We know how good both of these two can put on good matches and whatnot I've seen in the past, and they ended up really great too. But we'll see how this goes this time, or wherever this whole thing is going with Ace Austin. But other than that, though, that is my review for Impact Wrestling this week. Tell me what you thought about the show, or anything that was going on between this gut check thing and this whole TNA thing brought back for Mania weekend that goes for Ring of Honor also, and the rest of the show in general, especially with this whole Callahan video thing or anything else that was happening on Impact tonight. What are your thoughts on that? But other than that, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about Impact Wrestling tonight. I'm out here. I'll see you guys later. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Started to repeat myself, so out of here. You know what this means. Good. Check out any other video that has been uploaded online. I'm out of here.